So this work that comes out of ancient indigenous life, from our prehistoric past in a way, has to do with our origins of who we are. A really good way to describe it is when you were born, you were the product of a sperm and an egg meeting and cells that multiplied and multiplied and multiplied to make you into a baby, to make that baby into a human being. So when we think of our identity today, we think about our name, where we were born, our kind of conscious identity, what we like to do, what we do for a living, how much money we have, or how many kids we have, that kind of thing, where we live in the world. We think about a conscious identity, most of which has been taught to us. And what this work does is brings us back to an original identity. It brings us back to an identity with life itself that's passing through us. And actually, that is most of who we are. We are just life itself. And everything that's been placed on top, every education from our family, from our religion, from all kinds of influences in our society, our culture, create filters through which to see ourselves and to see the world. And what this ancient work does for us is to bring us back to an identification with ourselves as life. And when we can see from that place, we are more able to see things as they actually are, as they're actually unfolding in the world versus through our particular set of filters. So what that does for us is fosters a new place as to where to live from. Where am I living from? Not what am I looking at or how am I judging what I look at, but where am I sourcing myself in my life? If I can source myself as life itself, life starts looking very, very different. So right now we have a way of being in alignment with our learned identity, and we can see in our lives how this works or this doesn't work, how this is successful in terms of harmony in our life, in terms of flow, in terms of joy, in terms of ease. And what the invitation is to open more to this life that's flowing through us, and to find out whether that identity actually has a more successful, a more embracing idea of wholeness. It has a more embracing idea of our origins and allows us to live from a place which embodies flow, it embodies harmony, it embodies grace. And so what we end up living from are these places which are more vibrant and which will elicit more vibrancy from the life outside of us. Just like in most religious mysticism, the great mystics will tell us that it's all happening inside of you. And it's the same with, as I've learned it, this ancient indigenous work. That everything is actually coming from our essential resonance. Where we see from, how we see, will dictate how we manifest ourselves in the world, will dictate how the energy with which we approach any situation. So to address any issues in our lives from the outside, or from the results that I want, which some paradigms have, is only part of the picture. Most of the picture is where we are eliciting, where we're moving from, where we're acting from, what our essential belief and identity about ourselves is. So in a really big nutshell, this is what the work is about. It contains all kinds of tools with which to explore this origin point of self as an embodied spirit. And one of the tools is ancient Lomi Lomi. Its original name was Kealahoku, Pathway to the Stars. So if you are a body worker and you're wishing to enhance your work or to learn a different modality of body work, this will introduce an ancient version of a style of Lomi Lomi that is very rare. If you are a person seeking more connection with your life force, with the way that life moves through you, with your identity as being itself, then this will also provide a foundational pathway in which to explore that in an embodied way. The body work for you will be just a tool with which to explore that. And for the people seeking body work, the foundational, essential essence coming into contact with that life force of who you are is actually not only helpful in your life, but it's an essential foundation of actually practicing that form of ancient life meeting life. And so that's the invitation.